For most of the 20th century, Boeing was the gold standard of American manufacturing. During World War II, their engineers built the B-17 bombers that helped win the war. When NASA needed to get to the moon, they trusted Boeing to help build the massive Saturn V rocket. On the commercial side, their engineers created the 747, a plane so large and reliable it made global travel affordable for the middle class. Then, in late 2018 and early 2019, two modern Boeing 737 MAX aircraft crashed within 5 months of each other. 346 people died. 5 years later, in January 2024, an Alaska Airlines flight had a large section of its fuselage rip off at 16,000 feet. The cabin depressurized, and an emergency landing barely avoided another mass fatality. How does a company with the most capable aerospace engineers on Earth suddenly forget how to build a safe airplane? They didn't. They just changed who was allowed to make the decisions. In 2011, Boeing faced a massive threat. Their European rival, Airbus, launched the A320neo. It was highly fuel efficient, and airlines started ordering it by the thousands. Boeing needed to respond immediately. To save the billions of dollars it would take to design a brand new plane, Boeing decided to attach new, larger engines onto their decades-old 737 airframe. The 737 sits extremely low to the ground, so to make the larger engines fit, Boeing had to mount them higher and further forward on the wing. As we can see in this flight model, shifting that much weight forward changed the plane's aerodynamics, causing the nose to pitch up under certain conditions. To fix this physical problem without redesigning the plane, Boeing wrote a software patch called MCAS. If the system sensed the plane was stalling, MCAS would automatically push the nose down. This software pulled its data from a single angle of attack sensor. There was no backup. If that one sensor broke or misread the wind, it would feed faulty data to the flight computer. That is exactly what happened on Lion Air Flight 610 and Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302. The sensor failed, and the software repeatedly forced the planes into fatal dives while the pilots fought for control. Boeing intentionally hid the existence of MCAS from pilots. They kept it out of the training manuals entirely. If they had disclosed the new software, the FAA would have required expensive simulator training for pilots, a cost that would have cut directly into Boeing's profit margins. The shift toward these dangerous compromises began in 1997. That year, Boeing merged with its struggling rival, McDonnell Douglas. While the Boeing name remained on the door, the McDonnell Douglas executive team occupied the desks. The financiers and investors who ran McDonnell Douglas quickly replaced Boeing's legacy engineers in the boardroom. Harry Stonecipher, a McDonnell Douglas veteran who eventually became Boeing's CEO, explicitly pushed to reorient Boeing from an engineering house into a business focused on stock prices and supply chains. The company moved its corporate headquarters away from the historic assembly lines in Seattle. The C-suite relocated first to Chicago and later to Virginia. The executives were now thousands of miles away from the factory floors and the people building the planes. This chart compares Boeing's spending priorities during the development of the 737 MAX. Between 2013 and 2019, the company allocated $43 billion to stock buybacks. They dedicated just $19 billion to research and development. The executives were no longer optimizing the company to design safe, reliable aircraft. They were optimizing the company to ensure the next quarter's earnings report looked attractive to Wall Street. By 2024, the internal culture remained broken despite the lessons of the MAX crashes. Following the Alaska Airlines blowout, investigators took a hard look at the Boeing factory floor. They discovered that the door plug that ripped off mid-flight was manufactured and shipped lacking all 4 of its critical retaining bolts. The plane had been delivered without anyone actually bolting the door to the fuselage. The production line operated under a mandate of constant motion, where pausing the assembly for a quality check meant failing a corporate quota. This environment prioritized the schedule above the hardware, turning critical quality control into a secondary concern for workers, who were being measured by speed alone. The FAA found that Boeing routinely violated a 2021 safety settlement. Quality managers on the ground tried to raise the alarm, but the executives repeatedly ignored internal whistleblowers like John Barnett, who reported that the company was installing substandard parts just to keep the line moving. The government continues to issue regulatory fines, but the core financial incentives driving the C-suite remain unchanged. Financial engineering can successfully inflate stock prices for a decade, But when a company replaces its engineers with financiers and treats complex machines like stock positions, reality inevitably catches up. The machinery fails, and the planes fall.